much for that warm reception. It's a wonderful evening for us. Thank you very much for coming and helping us to celebrate the 125th anniversary of the South Devon Railway. The first thing I think you will notice is that there's actually something odd about us tonight, and that is that we are missing our dear friend Rob on the piano. He told me back in January that he wouldn't be able to make this evening's concert because he has a vital rehearsal for Fiddler on the Roof. And our other friend Jonathan stepped in and said, I would be delighted to do it for you. Unfortunately, he is just at this moment, I think, flying back from the States. And so it meant we had to sort of look around and see what we could do. And it seemed that most probably the best thing was to do it from the piano with the help of two others in the choir who are also pianists. And I think we have to bear in mind that people come along to the choir to sing and not to play. So that's what we're doing this evening, so I hope you're going on with us. The programme is very much on the lines of trains, travel, and the readings also link up with that. And we're going to start with that delightful poem by Robert Louis Stevenson, From a Railway Carriage. And after that, we're going to have our very own InCon Andrew sisters singing Down in the Valley.
Faster than fairies, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows, the horses and cattle, all of the sights of the hill and the plain, fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. Here is a child who clambers and scrambles all by himself and gathering brambles. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes, and there is the green for stringing the daisies. Here is a cart run away in the road, lumping along with man and load. And here is a mill, and there is a river, each a glimpse and gone forever.
Alone in silence at a certain time of night, listening and looking up from what I'm trying to write, I hear a local train along the valley. And there goes the 150, think I to myself, aware that somehow its habitual travelling comforts me, making my world seem safer, homelier, sure to be the same tomorrow, and the same, one hopes, next year. This peacetime in that train, one hears it disappear with needless warning whistle and rail resounding wheels. That train's quite an old familiar friend, one feels.
Where the stones sink feet you read on
An account taken from the Transactions of the Devonshire Association, volume 64, page 230, which means it's official. The railway reached Paynton in 1859, and arrangements were made to celebrate this great occasion. And it was agreed that a pudding would be made, and it would be in the shape of a pyramid. The circumference at the top was 5 foot, while that at the base measured no less than 13 foot 6. It weighed 1.5 pounds and cost 45 pounds. The pudding consisted of 573 pounds of flour, 191 pounds of bread, 382 pounds of raisins, 191 pounds of currants, 382 pounds of suet, 320 lemons, 144 nutmegs, 95 pounds of sugar, a large quantity of eggs, and 360 quarts of milk. It's a bit like you're going to get later, isn't it? It was baked in sections, 8 sections forming one layer, and the whole was built together afterwards. On the morning of August the 1st, 1859, thousands of people flocked into Paynton from far and wide to witness this great event. The procession was headed by a band. They were followed by all the navvies carrying their picks and shovels. They were followed by the bread wagon, drawn by 3 horses. The beef was in 2 wagons, drawn by 2 horses. Then came the famous pudding in a wagon, drawn by 8 decorated horses, followed by the committee, carvers, and townsfolk. The carvers was just about to commence the complicated task of cutting up the pudding into small pieces, when suddenly the crowd surged forward. The navvies, thinking that they was about to be done out of their part of the banquet, left their seats, charged forward, and in a very short space of time, instead of an orderly feast, there was a disorderly tumult. Thoroughly alarmed at this menacing attitude of the crowd, the carvers started to throw slices of pudding in all directions, and a riotous scramble then ensued.
Are walking in, may I introduce you to the pupils from South Dartmoor College, headed by their music master, Ralph Bickington. Ralph, it's over to you.
night that I got on boat to heaven, and by some chance I had brought my dice along, and there I stood, and I followed someone bade me, but the passengers they knew right from wrong.
So I said to myself, sit down, you're rocking the boat. People all said, sit down, you're rocking the boat. And the devil will drag you under, by the shock of that along your checkered coat. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat.
And I laughed at the passengers to heaven, a great big wave came and washed me overboard, and I hollered, someone save me. That's the moment I won't run like the
So I said to myself, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Said to myself, sit down, you're rocking the boat. And the devil will drag you under, with a sword so heavy you'll never float. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat.
Let it rain, who cares? I've a train upstairs with a brake, which I make from a string, sort of thing, which works in jerks, cause it drops in the spring, which stops with the string. And the wheels all stick so quick that it feels like a thing that you make with a brake, not string. So that's what I make when the day's all wet. It's a good sort of brake, but it hasn't worked yet.
Honey, just for some food. Honey, please. Hello?
Taxi?
What's the time?
Train station.
Can all passengers wishing to go to Paddington please board the train now? Thank you. Excuse me on the way, that's my seat. The train to Canning will be leaving in precisely 2 minutes.
Down at the station, early in the morning, with the little colorations of the day around it. You can see the station master pull a little handle to the train. Off they go. Down at the station, early in the morning, see the little puffer engines all in a row. You can see the station master pull a little handle to the train. Off they go.
We are now in Paddington Station. Please leave the train. Excuse me,
Taxi?
Train goes running along the line, jickety-can, jickety-can. I wish it were mine, I wish it were mine, jickety-can, jickety-can. The engine driver stands in front, he makes it run, he makes it shunt. Out of the town, over the hill, over the down, under the bridges, across the lea, over the bridges and down to the sea. Jickety-can, jickety-can, jickety, jickety, jickety-can, 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 jickety, jickety, jickety-can.
They all drive a walking mask and
Firstly, may I welcome Janet to our concert. Always here with us, singing or helping the very important task of turning pages for the pianist. Cannot be done without, I can assure you. We are now on our travels. Janet is going to journey across the ocean on the boat Calypso, which is the boat belonging to the underwater explorer Jacques Cousteau. She'll then try to discover the way to San Jose. Then the choir will visit Glockamora to find out how things are there. And we'll finish our journey on the Mull of Kintyre. Far have I travelled and much have I seen.
Search of the answers to questions unknown.
that has put us now, I think, in a slightly different mood. And we're now going to go on and sing you something from Grand Opera. This is completely new for the choir, but it seemed appropriate to put it in this evening. It's from Verdi's Nabucco. It's the song of the Hebrew slaves, and for us, in English, it's Speed Your Journey.
Morning Express. Along the wind-swept platform, pinched and white, the travellers stand in pools of wintry light, offering themselves to morn's long, slanting arrows. The train's due. Porters trundle laden barrows. The train steams in, volleying resplendent clouds of sun-blown vapour. Hither and about, scared people hurry, storming the doors in crowds. The officials seem to waken with a shout, resolved to hoist and plunder. Some to the vans leap, others rumble the milk in gleaming cans. Boys, indolent-eyed, from baskets leaning back, question each pace. A man with a hammer steals, stooping from coach to coach, with clang and clack, touches and tests, and listens to the wheels. Guard sounds a warning whistle, points to the clock with brandished flag, and on his folded flock claps the last door. The monster grunts. Enough, tightening his load of links with pant and puff. Under the arch, then forth into blue day, glide the processional windows on their way, and glimpse the stately folk who sit at ease to view the world, like kings taking the seas in prosperous weather. Drifting banners tell their progress to the counties. With them goes the clamour of their journeying, while those who sped them stand to wave a last farewell.
We've got two numbers now that relate to the time when Dr. Beechin axed so many of those beautiful stations with all those lovely names. We've got, first of all, the song The Slow Train, written by that duo, Flanders and Swan, and then we're going to follow it with a poem by John Betjeman, Dilton Marsh Fort.
Millersdale for Tideswell, Kirkby Muxlow, Oakop and Scholar Green.
No more will I go to Blandford Forum and Waterloo. On the slow train from Midsummer Norton and Formby Road.
No churns, no porter, no cat on a seat at Chorley Company or Chester Street.
We won't be meeting again on the slow train. I'll travel no more from Littleton Bassey to Auckland Shore.
At Long Stanton I'll stand well clear of the doors no more.
No whitewashed pebbles, no up and no down, from Formby before crosses to Dunstable town.
I won't be going again on the slow train.
On the main line and the good siding, the grass grows high at Dondyke, Tumblewood side, and Trouble House Halt. Asleep, asleep at Odlum and then again.
soldier waits on Chittenden platform at Jeslick. No one departs, no one arrives, from Selby to Gull, from St. Earth to St. Ives. They've all passed out of our lives on the slow train, on the slow train. Cockermouth for Buttermere. On the slow train. Totnes to Ashburton, calling it back for sleep. On the slow train. Ashburton, all stop.
Was it worth keeping the halt open, we thought as we looked at the sky, red through the spread of the cedar tree, with the evening train gone by? Yes, we said, for in summer the anglers use it. 2 and sometimes 3 will bring their catches of rods and poles and perches to Westbury, home to tea. There isn't a porter. The platform is made of sleepers. The guard of the last up train put out the light, and high over lorries and cattle, the halt, unwinking, waits through the Wiltshire night. O housewives safe in the comprehensive churning of the Warminster laundrette. O husband down at the depot, with car in car park, the halt is waiting yet. And when all the horrible roads are finally done for, and there's no more petrol left in the world to burn, here to the halt, from Salisbury and from Bristol, steam trains will return.
We're off on another journey now, to the Black Hills of Dakota. And then Ricardo will bring us back to Ashburton on the 5:45.
Indian country that I love.
is reserved. Do you mind if I say that you're grand? I'll confess that is just as I planned. I knew one day would be together, you and I on the 545. Here we are on the 545. You and I on the 545. What a wonderful day. We are at last on our way, and we won't be disturbed. This compartment is reserved. Do you mind if I say that you're grand? I'll confess that it's just as I planned. I knew one day we'd be together, you and I on the 545.
In our audience tonight, we have the author of our next item, Mary Witt. Was called Auntie Mary. Right. And Mary has written this poem for this occasion. And it's got 20 odd verses, and various members of the choir are now going to read it to you. It's called A Journey to School.
I look at my watch as I go through the gate. The hands are showing 20 minutes to 8.
I quicken my steps as I make my way to Ashburton Station to commence my day.
I carry my gas mask, my satchel too. The books weigh heavy, with much homework to do.
I enter the station. Mrs. Goodwin is there. She's our station master and also takes fares.
She opens the windows to show she's inside, to sell the tickets for people to ride.
The railway lorry is parked at the back. Sid Baker's the driver, but not on the track.
Mr. Cartwright and Mr. Marks are poking up the fiery sparks to drive the engine on its journey town to take us to school in Totnes Town.
Old Bolivar is puffing and blowing out hot steam. It gives a piercing whistle to show us his supreme.
Mount the steps and pass inside. We can choose which compartment we'd like for the ride. We sit in our groups with special friends to compare our homework or make plans for the weekend.
Molly Wellington's train prefect to see we obey the rules. We're told any misbehaviour would be degrading to the school.
The clock is showing 5 minutes to 8. Time to get rolling. Don't want to leave late.
Carstucker's Malt House and Brewery Meadow too. Parnell Corners stood there to wave the train through.
The engine driver is slowing the train down. We've reached Buckfordsley, another small town.
We're moving again, midst of country serene. The river is sparkling through fields of green.
The orchards of apples abundant with fruit, so many varieties we see on the route.
We're passing Hood Bridge, the searchlight's based here, to seek out hostile aircraft who dare to fly too near.
The train is nearing Staverton, the village with beauty and charm, choice flowers in cottage gardens and spacious, well-run farms.
The platform is so colourful with blooms of every hue. The crossing gates have to be closed just when the train is due.
We're at our journey's end now, and we gather round the door to alight upon the platform on our way to school once more.
We're moving on now, and for this we're going to have Janice to accompany us in one of the Carpenter's songs which we are now working on. It's part of a medley, and we're going to sing the first one. In point of fact, we hope very much that we will have the remainder of it ready for the concert in October. It's Yesterday Once More, and just so that there's no break, we'll follow that one with Janet's song, the lovely Burt Bacharach number, Trains and Boats and Flames.
When I was young, I listened to the radio, waiting for my favorite song.
So many of you know that we were visited by Ian Sterling from West Country Television, and we were presented with that lovely award in November. And Ian Sterling asked us, are you going to sing From a Distance? I gather that's one of your songs. Well, we'd put it away and forgotten all about it. It was one that's sort of in the best of InCon. So, just in case he comes tonight, we'll take
the ocean meets the stream, and the
The next piece was written by Florrie Whitefoot. Oh, you know her then. But you got a better version than this one. Her husband was permanent wayganger, Jack Whitefoot. Florrie actually was born in 1895 and died in 1986. She was the last crossing keeper at Napper's Crossing. Now you may be interested that a flint napper was a person who broke up the flint to use his bedding for the railway tracks. Not a lot of people know that. But you do. It is entitled, of course, Bulliver. Pistons clanking to and fro, the firebox glowing red. Onward speeds old Bulliver along the steel-laid bed. Besides the Dart to Staverton, through Hood to Buckfastleigh, past Pridham steamed old Bulliver to Ashburton for tea. Signals standing stark and still, the box stands grey and dead. Beecham's axe has made a kill. We'll have a road instead. The cows have gone from Ashburton, no woe for Buckfastleigh. From Staverton the cider's gone, no more Bulliver shall we see. A man stands by the rusty rails, his mind goes back in time, when Bulliver left wispy trails of steam, of smoke and grime. Over the Dart on a sunny day, cross field and wood and lane. Even with the DVRA, will they ever run a train? A lot of sweat and also tears, a lot of cutting back, a lot of money over years, and work upon the track. A lot of pots of paint and beers, a lot of come and see, a lot of skill drives Bulliver to Ashburton and Buckfastleigh.
The last verse of this poem, called Goodbye Great Western, makes a fitting epilogue to this evening's concert. We hope you've enjoyed our sentimental journey. Alas, the curtain falls, the lights are low. Pride of Brunel, now it's time to go. But when old days are dim and we have gone, may all thy grand traditions still live on. So be it.